Obviously, today's podcast, you could probably see it in the title section, but I came across an individual today, and I just thought about the energy within the world that we live in.
Right.
And guest here, Barbarino, Instagram.
There you go.
Plug in. It's going to be right here. Go follow him if you're viewing us.
If you want to.
He's an expert whenever it comes to the energy of the world.
Expert.
I guess I could say that.
All right.
Frequencies
I'm
and
just
that.
a student.
Just another kid walking the earth.
Student of knowledge, right?
I think the energy topic's very, very intriguing because it makes sense and it's how the world revolves. But talking about that girl from earlier, I was walking past a group of people and I heard her say to her friends, it's like, I feel like I struggle with anxiety or depression, however you want to say it. And she was talking about, I don't even want to get up in the morning to go to class. Like, I can't even drive to the grocery store. And that opens up the discussion of why do people feel that way? It has to root from energy. You either have the happy energy or the negative energy.
You only feel two ways.
Right.
You either feel good or you feel bad. And there's varying degrees of both. And obviously somebody who feels that they can't wake up in the morning, they're definitely feeling far, far, far onto the left of negative. But it doesn't mean that the right side of positive, everything's a spectrum.
Yeah.
So
Number
you
line.
can work your way up. Depression really is just hanging out on the left side for too long. And then it becomes a habit. Then it becomes a personality.
Yeah.
And then you just go around saying you're a negative person.
That's good right there. And I see that every day. I have family members that identify as depressed and they get the medication to help them. Let's not even get into the pharmaceutical things. It's like, are you depressed? Are you clinically depressed, or are you just, for the last year and a half, you woke up and you made yourself sad?
Yeah.
Now you're in a long-term season of sadness. I guess you can identify it as depression, but at the end of the day, the best part about being human is we can decide whether or not we're going to be happy or sad.
Absolutely.
You get to make your day.
Right.
And your energy is the energy you give off because it's natural physics. What you give off comes back.
Exactly.
What you give, you get.
And that's why it's the biggest key in life is to feel good now.
Yeah.
That's the number one goal with everything, is to feel good now. Because if I'm feeling good, I'm vibrating good.
Right.
If I'm vibrating good, I'm only attracting what I'm vibrating. People who, if you're depressed, if you break up the word depressed, it means deep rest. And I've been depressed before. That shit's not fun. I've been there horrible times. But the thing is, when an individual is depressed, they keep saying, I am depressed. I need to be better, this, that. The best thing you can do is just nothing. And sit there and just focus on one thing that makes you feel better. And if you can't feel good now,
quit reminding yourself.
To feel better, like it's a spectrum. So if I feel terrible right now, yeah, I can get that. You're not going to feel amazing in the same day. But you can go from not feeling terrible to feeling, oh, I just feel bad now. Well, now I feel okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel kind of good now. And you have to work your way up the spectrum. And the way you do that, there's always something that you can think of that makes you feel good. You got 2 legs, you got 2 arms, you got 2 eyes, you got 2 ears. What's not to like? So the other day, some late girl, she said it was raining outside. She was upset about it. She came up to me. I was like, how's your day? She's like, it's good, but it's raining. I looked at her and I was like, but you're still breathing.
Right.
And she was like, well, I guess you're right.
Why do people get sad and depressed whenever they talk about rain, whenever rain is the thing? Whenever you think of happiness, what do you think of? Like a field of flowers, right? If you want to visualize it as nature, what do you think of when you say happy?
Happy? The
Right.
sun, yeah. Something bright.
The sun, bright flowers and stuff like that. People can't look at flowers and say, I feel a vibration of negativity.
Exactly.
What was needed for those flowers to sprout?
The sun.
And
Energy.
rain.
Rain. Oh, yeah, good call.
You feel me?
I forgot the argument.
The H2O part. You need rain to sprout the natural beauty in this world.
Yeah.
So if you look at your heart as a seed that God planted into you or the university created, you need the rain in your life for that seed to sprout. There's no seed that'll sprout without negativity sometime throughout your life.
You need it creates life itself. And it's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's actually a college professor. And I was telling him that story about the girl. Because he always asked me, how's your day? And I was like, today is amazing.
Right. I always say it's a beautiful day.
And he's like, oh, you always have good days. And I was like, yeah, I think it's funny that people can go around and not have amazing days. Told him the story, and then we were talking about it. I was like, you know what the truth is? What I should have told her? I was like, without the rainy days, you don't have sunny days. And I was like, but people weren't ready for all that. They're not ready to hear that because it was...
What do you mean by that?
In the essence of, you can't... It's the same as the argument is you can't have lightness without darkness.
Yeah.
Without sunlight, without rain, there's not sun, because there wouldn't be, because if you only see sun, rain, it gives you contrast. So the rainy days are the reason that we have sunny days. Light creates dark, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the essence of, if we live in the darkness forever,
Yeah.
we don't know what light is. If we live in the rain forever, we don't know what sun is.
Okay.
So the rainy days literally create the sunny days.
Right.
But I was like, nobody's ready to hear that.
Yeah.
He's like, they'll just lock you up in Western Psych if I said that to her.
How do we get over that? Going back to depression and what this girl was talking about is like, you got to remember, like he just said, everybody has those seasons and everybody has those thoughts once upon a time. But what differentiates the individual who stays in that lump versus the person who gets out of it? What would you say? How does she get out of there?
I would say a couple things. The most important being your will.
Willpower is a really good topic to talk about.
Exactly.
But continue.
We have the power to do anything.
Mm-hmm. It's all up to us whether or not we want to stay sad or not.
Exactly. And believe me, I've been sad as well. But then I got to a point where I was like, I'm pretty tired of this. This isn't giving me results. This isn't what I want to do.
Right.
I don't want to sit here and sleep all day long.
No.
Do all this, do all that. So I was like, why am I sad? I was like, if I don't stop being sad today, I'm still going to be sad tomorrow. And the day after that, your days turn to weeks, your weeks turn to months, your months turn to years.
Yeah, I think
You're
it's an
sad
addiction.
forever. And it's just like, it's addiction because you
It's
don't
habitual to be
cap
sad.
it. And now I don't get sad anymore because I cap anything very quickly
So
before it overflows.
I'm the type of person that says addiction can apply to everything in this world. I don't think there's one thing that somebody can't become addicted to. Addiction's habitual. If you wake up 21 days in a row and say, I'm sad, you're going to be addicted to it. And there's no way out of that unless you cap that addiction.
Yeah,
I'm addicted to coffee. Every single day I drink coffee. And I know it's not the best because financially, but I'm okay with spending that $3 every day to get this coffee. And it doesn't have too many bad side effects. Depression does. Depression is, you can compare it to alcoholism. It's like, it's bad. It depresses you.
It's bad because you feel bad.
Yeah.
It never, ever feels good.
Yeah, so I feel like first step is to realize the issue, realize it's up to you,
awareness is big,
realize this is actually an addiction and it's nothing more than my choice, realize that if you start to think positive, you can be positive. But it's going to be a fight because it's an addiction, just like it's hard to quit alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you need the will.
The willpower.
The will will get, a strong will will get you anything in life.
Yeah. And like you said, start small. Wake up and be like, today's a good day.
Just say it. You know how
Write
many
it down.
days I sat there and wrote, today's amazing, today's
Yeah.
amazing, today's amazing,
Yeah.
today's amazing. You tell yourself a lie long enough, it will become truth.
Yeah.
And it
Fake
has.
it till you make it.
This was 6 months ago when I was depressed. I'm far from depressed now.
Because you made it happen.
Exactly. And on top of that, I'm very grateful for being depressed. Because now I know how happy I am.
You've seen the other side of the spectrum.
Exactly. Now I'm like, oh, that's just a side of the spectrum. Exactly.
Yeah.
But for somebody who's very deep in depression, I don't know what the best thing to do is. The best thing to do is find something small, practice gratitude. And yeah, like you said, 21 days, you do something for 30 days, it switches your brain. And once you switch your brain, then you're easier to go up the spectrum of feeling good, feeling better, blah, blah, blah.
I think one thing that's funny is like, it's a fact that the colors you're surrounded by can alter your feelings.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like,
Wow.
you'll be happier in a field of flowers than you'd be in a field of sand. If you're trying to tell me that you're depressed and you don't have the power to get over it, that's pretty much saying,
You have a weak will.
if the color pink can make you happy, you can make happy.
Yeah, dude, look
Like,
at it.
you know what I'm saying? You can make yourself happy.
There's many ways to fix your vibration. Put on good music, talk to a friend, put on a funny video, something that makes you laugh, something that makes you smile, something that makes you think, look up at the stars. If it's at night, just look up at the stars and say, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. Find what makes you happy and
Anything.
focus on
There's
that.
always something.
But then that can be dangerous because sometimes what makes you happy is just as bad as what makes you depressed. It could be the same thing. Let's say you're depressed by something that you get addicted to, what is temporary happiness. You have to find eternal happiness. And that's not even religion-wise.
Drugs and stuff.
Right. Temporal happiness, for example, if you're a girl and you really hate life, so you go to a guy to be the cure to your depression.
People are lonely.
If that guy's the cure to your depression, what happens whenever reality he ends up breaking up with you? Your cure, you got so devoted to that now he's gone, your depression's right back. So you got to find something you can fix it on your own. You can never put it into somebody else's hands is what I was pretty much trying to get to.
No, I agree with that 1,000%.
Don't do it with alcohol. Don't do it with temporal happiness. You got to find something that really makes you happy.
Just find a why. Find something to wake you up in the morning. And
chase your dream. That's a really good way to be happy.
Go look at a deer and say, hey, at least I'm not a deer. You'll start feeling a lot better.
I feel like another thing is everybody, you have a dream. You have a passion. Every single person in this world has a passion. I believe there's some people that accounting is their passion. And I think that's just how the universe and the world spins.
Oh, hell yeah. There's somebody that loves numbers.
Right. And so they go do that thing. I feel like depression, it's funny that it's always around the teenage years. You see it all the time. 15 to 25 is usually where it's at. And it's also funny. Those are the years your brain starts to open and expand and your dreams come to you. And you start to think, why do you think all these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds want to be rappers? But you don't see 40-year-olds coming out being like, I want to be a rapper. Because that's whenever their brain starts to come up with those big ideas that they want to pursue. I feel like a lot of depression can root in the world telling you that your dream can't come true. The only thing I want to be is a rapper, let's say that, and then you let the world brainwash you that will never come true. Why do you think so many kids are depressed? Their whole life dream was shot down. What do you want to do? Photography? What if somebody told you can't take pictures?
I'd say that's your opinion.
Yeah, but
not mine.
But that's usually the depressed people. They
accept
can't.
Yeah, they accept other people's opinion. You can't accept anybody's opinions unless it's valuable.
Right.
And that's why if you're depressed, here's a key if you're depressed. See who your friends are. There's a quote. Before you call yourself depressed, make sure you're just not surrounded by assholes. And it's the truth, because who you hang out with is who you become. It's who you give yourself access to. Who are you listening to? You're listening to somebody who's putting you down all the time. You're going to be put down all the time.
Right.
And that's why the key is to go and deal with your shit by yourself. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to be alone. So what do? They go find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They're happy for the first 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months. Then they're right back to being sad. Because you can't fill that void. Then the person's gone.
You got to find yourself first.
They're all sad. Yeah, nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to put in the work. But I'm telling you, once you do it, nothing will stop you. Nothing will
Fall
stop
back
you.
for a minute. Just stop talking to people for a week.
Don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I got 6 friends.
Yeah.
It's for a reason.
And if you go 5 days with just not talking to everybody and focusing on yourself, and then the 5th day comes along and you're like, I was just focused on myself, and they have some sort of like, how could you do that about that? Then they're not your friend.
First of all, they weren't there. You were sad, okay? You were sad, and they didn't once hit you up. They didn't once come to your house with coffee, with soup, with nothing.
Right. If somebody came up to me that I was friends with and I'm like, hey, man, I didn't hear from you in 5 days. What's up? He was like, I don't know. I'm just trying to find myself. I'd be like, I'm not going to talk to you for the next 2 weeks because I'm encouraging that.
Yeah, I'd just be like, bro, anything I can do? No? All right. Best of luck.
I'll be like, I understand.
Yeah, it's people. Yeah, exactly. I get it. No, I do, but people you just gotta find it for yourself. Don't think anybody else is gonna give it to you.
Yeah. Every shape is influenced by a mold, and no matter what, the mold always surrounds the shape. It's on the outside of the shape.
Exactly.
So your friend group, going back to that, you are your 5 friends.
Definitely.
Your 5 friends, they're always around you. Therefore, they're going to shape you into the person you are. Your friends are your mold.
Mom said what? Don't hang out with the bad kids, you'll become a bad kid.
Right. That's usually how it works.
It's the same with the good kids, too. You hang out with the good kids, you'll be a good kid. It's not like good is subjective, but...
You hang around money, you'll make money.
That's what I was,
You hang around business owners, you'll own a business.
Who do you listen to?
Because that's your reality. Once you start to see it in person, it's amazing. Realities.
It's your
eyes
reality.
open.
Yeah, I go down, you travel. Travel's the best way to open up your mind, I think.
Right.
In my opinion, go travel. Go see how they live in Spain. Go see how they live in Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Go see how they live 2 towns to the left of you. It's going to be different.
Right.
But you're getting a different essence of like, holy shit. You're just living in such a small bubble. There's an entire world around you that you don't even know about because all you're concerned about is I'm depressed.
Yeah.
And you're hanging out with losers, to be frank. They're a loser if they're not sitting there trying to make you positive.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'll never get that.
I don't understand why people have friends with people who aren't positive.
Yeah.
Because if you go back to dumbing it down, we're just humans on this earth.
Yeah.
Right? And at the end of the day, I guess it is kind of, everybody's different, but I could do life with nobody around me.
It's easy.
I could figure out my shit. Life would be great. Cool. I don't need anybody. So then you have friends. Friends are just icing on the top. Why would I ever pick a friend that talks shit to me, that doesn't believe in my goals?
Yeah.
The one friend that doesn't believe in my goals, we're not friends.
Right.
Cool, see you, have a good life, I'm not mad at you, whatever. I only want a friend that's being like, first of all, pushing me better. I only hang out with people who are smarter than me or have what I want. I'm not hanging out with somebody if I hang out with 5 people who play video games, I'm going to be the 6th person playing video games.
Right.
If I hang around with 5 people who are negative, I'll be the 6th negative dude.
Right.
But people who say they hate their friends, and I don't know why people entertain friendships that aren't of value. It doesn't make sense to me at all, really. Keep your circle small and have 5 people that you can call at 2 a.m. and they'll pick you up.
Right.